Hey guys, in this video we're going to be looking at a few different things, okay? So we're going to look at post types or post formats. Now, right now if we look at our theme, we have just basically one kind of post, and it's just a standard blog post. So we can also have things like galleries, links, images, quotes, status updates, things like that, and we can format these different types of posts in different ways. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that, how to add that to our theme. Also, we're going to look at a function called getTemplatePart, and that allows us to stop repeating ourselves. For instance, if we look in our index page, we have this this while have posts, and then we're just outputting our posts. Same thing in the archive. Okay, we're doing the same thing here. We're doing the same thing in search PHP, and so on. So we want something that's going to stop us from repeating ourselves over and over. Okay, I know that each of these files have minor changes, but we can implement that inside of a specific content file. Okay, so I think the best thing to do is to just jump in and show you. So let's go to index.php, and what we want to look at is everything that is inside of this while loop. Okay, so our post loop. And I'm going to just go ahead and grab it all. So it's basically that article tag to the ending article tag. And we're going to cut that. And then I'm going to create a new file and save it as content.php. Alright, and then we're going to just paste that in there. Let me just bring this back. Alright, so we'll save that. And then what we'll do is go back to index, and in its place we're going to say PHP, and then we're going to use get template part. Alright, and then in here we want to pass in the name of the file, which we just created, which is content. Alright, so we'll save that and make sure content PHP is saved as well. And if we reload, it looks the exact same, which is what we want. Okay, so now let's take a look at archive PHP. Alright, so we have some of the same stuff here. The idea is to get everything that's in the while loop into that content file. So let's go ahead and cut this out. Alright, and then go to content PHP. Now this is a little different than, well, it's quite different than what we have for regular blog posts. Alright, so what we can do is we can use a conditional. Okay, and we can check to see if this is an archive or a search result page. Alright, so to do that, we're going to say PHP, and we're going to open up an if statement here. Actually, I'm going to use the shorthand. Okay, we're also going to have an else. Alright, so the if statement, it's going to say if is underscore search. Okay, so what this means is that if we're on a search results page, so if we search for something and this comes up, okay, it's checking to see if we're on this page. Alright, we can also check to see if it's on a category or an archive, not just category, but any kind of archive. So let's say or is archive. Alright, if this is true, then we want to just output what we just copied from the archive post page. Alright, so we'll just go like that. Okay, else, if it's not search or archive, then we want this. So I'm going to just grab all this and cut, and then we'll just paste that inside of the else. Alright, save it, and then in archive we also want what we put in the index file, which is this. So we'll copy that, paste that right there, and save. Alright, so if we go and we reload the search page, it should look the exact same. Alright, and just to make sure it's coming from the content file, we'll just say test, reload. Okay, so that's not giving us test. Let's see. Oh, that's because we didn't put it in the search. We only put it in archive. So let's test that first. Okay, so if I click on this category name, you can see we're getting test. All right. So what we want to do is, just like we did in the archive where we put this get template part, we want to copy that and then put that in the search page as well. All right, so it's the same exact code as we have here, so we can just paste that in. All right, and then if we do a search, now we get this test. Okay, so we know that it's coming from this content page in this conditional. So save that. Okay, all right, so that's all set. Now we can also implement our content PHP inside of the single as well, okay, because if we look at single, we have a lot of the same stuff that we had in the index. Okay, we have an article tag. I think the only difference is that we're using the excerpt inside of the blog roll, and also we have the read more link that's not in the single. So what we can do is let's just let's see, we're gonna go from the article tag to the ending article tag, and let's just paste that in the get template part, save it. Now if we go to a single page now, okay, we lost that that single page formatting. So what we want to do here is go into the content PHP page and just add some conditionals where we want things to be different. So for instance, the excerpt, we want to say PHP if okay, so we can say if is single. Okay, if it is single, then we want the content. If not, then we want the excerpt. So we'll paste that in and then get rid of that. Okay, so let's go back to the single page, reload, and now we have our content back. We also want to get rid of this read more, so let's go down to where that is. And actually, we don't even need to do another conditional. We can just grab it and put it right here. All right, so then it won't show up on the single page anymore. So you can see how we've saved ourselves from repeating ourselves. Okay, so now archive, inside the while loop, we just have this one line. Same thing with the other pages, search, single, and index. So now what I want to do is get into the post formats. All right, so let's add a gallery type. All right, so what we want to do is first go to our functions PHP file, and we need to enable these different formats that we want to use. So we can go right under this where we registered the nav menus, and let's say post format support, and we'll say add theme support, and we want to add post formats. All right, and then the second parameter will be an array of the types of formats we want. So I'm going to choose 3. We're going to take that aside, gallery, and link. All right, and if we look at the documentation,